Hey YouTube, back again. Got a quick shop update. Basically what's going on here in the shop, the project that I'm working on, I've got the build videos for it, the Armored One display window frame. I was going to give you a quick update on that and an update on some tools that I just got. So let's get the Armored One deal out of the way. Basically, I've got it set up here on the table. I know this is kind of far away. Only thing I got left on it is to do the diagonal supports, the mounting tabs that'll hold the glass in place on the face, and I'm getting ready to build those things right now. In this section right here, I'm going to take a little piece of 3/4 inch square and I'm going to weld them into place. Same thing as this, where it's got the 45s cut on it, and I'm going to weld it in place because what this will do is act like a spacer. When this folds down and collapses, it'll sit on top of that and keep a consistent gap all the way along the edge. So, just a little bit of fine detail stuff, but I'm not going to get too much into that because that's part of the build video. But here's what I wanted to show you guys. I got me a new drill press. It's a floor model. It's not new. It's old. It's actually very old. Believe it was built in the late 70s, early 80s. It's Packard Packard Precision. It's a heavy-duty 12-speed drill press. This was built in Taiwan, if my research is correct. Actually, it says it right on the front, so I guess that confirms that. So it's not like a super high-end drill press or nothing, and it shows its age, but I didn't pay very much for it. I got it from a local machine shop that's closing down, and he's basically getting rid of everything he's got. I'm actually, a little bit later today, I'm going to pick up some bench grinders that I got from him. I didn't bring them last night because they're on this pedestal that is massive. It's a big cast iron pedestal. The thing's ridiculously big, and they're both mounted to it. The whole setup has got to weigh 200 pounds. And right now my truck is attached to my trailer, and my trailer's my Pathfinder, and my trailer's full of construction debris, so I couldn't use that. I have to put it inside of my Saab station wagon. So anyway, I'll pick that up later today and give you guys an update with that. Right now I just want to show you guys this in action. It's got a little bit of rundown, a little bit of tiniest bit of shift here in the shaft. I can feel it there. But, I'm not looking for machine shop quality, okay? I'm looking to just drill some holes without having to use my hand drill. And these things will, from my experience, drill presses will save you money on bits. They're just a lot cleaner. You're able to use some cutting oil with it, hold your pieces steady so they're not shaking all around and banging around the way you have issues with hand drills. So that's why I picked it up. Plus I've got a customer that's wanting some stainless steel tubing drilled for a project he's building. And I told him that I would pick up a drill press this week so I can get that done, because this is something that I wanted to have in my shop very soon anyway. So I found this on Craigslist and went and grabbed it. Let me kind of give you a quick rundown. It's 3/4 horsepower motor, obviously 110 volt. It's got the hand crank for the height adjustment, which is really nice. It's a little bit of play here in the track, but it works for me. I mean, it goes up and down smoothly, and I don't have any issues. The table's pretty small, but it's got these, the clamp attachments or fixture attachment points on there. what I'm probably going to do at some point is I'm going to probably take me a piece of wood, maybe 3/4 inch plywood or something like that, and countersink it and attach it to this to give me a bigger base. I'm not entirely sure, because most importantly I'm going to want a way to attach a V-block to it so I can drill into tubing and stuff like that. So we'll have to see. That's something I'll work on in the future. Base, real heavy duty. This has got, what I do like is it's got this light right here. Whoa, I just blew up my camera. It's got the work light right there, which I think is completely awesome. It's just an incandescent bulb. But my shop is kind of dark, so it lets me see what I'm working on really, really well. There's the specs on the motor, if you can read it. There you go. And yeah, that's pretty bare bones, basic, normal what you would expect for a drill press. It's got all the speeds right here. So it goes down to 280 RPM and up to, according to this, 3600 RPM. And currently it is set at, let me see here, belts at the bottom, that one's there. So it's currently set, I don't see that configuration just yet. There it is. 790 RPM. I'm probably going to slow it down more. It's pretty slow right now, but I'm probably going to slow it down more just because I want to see this thing work at a lower RPM. I might actually do that right now. But I'm going to put this up here. I'm going to drill a hole real quick and show you guys that. Let me get this on the tripod and get a closer view of what I'm working on. Bear with me, I could have had all this set up to begin with, but I didn't, so it is what it is. That's about as close as we're going to get because well, maybe not. There we go. Sorry, I'm trying to get this. The motor's got an adjustment on this side so I can adjust these belts. So I'm trying to do that. Got it. Looks like I'm going to have to adjust the height on this motor a little bit. It's a little bit off. Let's see how that works. Get this light on. Make sure that's a good view. There we go. That's really super slow. That's at its slowest setting, so we're just gonna work with that because I don't have any cutting oil, so I'm just using my air tool oil just to keep this bit from falling apart. And this is a cheap Harbor Freight bit, by the way. Again, this is at the slowest absolute speed on here, which is really quite slow. That's why it keeps catching. Plus that belt needs to be tightened up a little bit. There we go. I don't know if you can see this that well. Not like perfect clean hole, but definitely good enough for what I need it for. This top hole was drilled with a really worn out bit last night. So when it got through, I had to use quite a bit of force, but that's why you kind of see the holes kind of jacked up on there. But yeah, I'm happy with it. Like I said, it's not the best quality machine out there. You know, it's made in Taiwan and was made in Taiwan, and actually it says right here 1978 manufacture date on there. So given that, if this thing lasts me 2-3 years for the price that I paid for it, I'm more than happy. And given that was built in the 70s and it's lasted this long, I think I'll be just fine with it. I'll get my money's worth out of it. It's just something to get me by until more work comes in and I can get my profits up to the point where I can justify buying higher end tools, and that's pretty much the way it is with everything that I got. You know, down the road, ideally, I would like to get a CNC plasma table. I'd like to get, a machine, a mill and a metal lathe and things like that. But, as of right now, this stuff is getting me by and it's getting the job done, and that's all that matters. So if any of you guys are interested in ever putting together your own shop, just keep that in mind. There's a lot of guys out there with big money that will tell you over and over and over again, oh, don't waste your time with that Chinese garbage. That's all bullshit. It's never going to last. You're not going to get your money's worth. It's going to be, more headache than it's worth. Just spend your money on the higher quality stuff, the built in America stuff. And that's fine and dandy if we all got budgets like them, but we don't all have budgets like them, and we got to start someplace. And if you gotta go out and buy yourself a machine that's half the quality of a high dollar one, and you're paying hardly anything for it, do what you need to do. The reality is that they'll tell you, like with my Everlast machines, my Everlast welder and plasma cutter, there's people out there that will tell me over and over and over again, oh, you should have went out and bought a Miller, you should have went out and bought a Lincoln, with the plasma cutter, you should have went and got a Hypertherm, well, you should have gave me some money. That's how I feel about it. For the price that I'm paying for the units that I have, I can buy backup units. I can go out and buy I paid, with the discounts and everything that Everlast gave me, I think I paid like $700 out the door for my MIG as well as my plasma cutter. So, for that kind of price tag, I could buy 2 of them and still be under the cost of what it would cost me for, let's say, the plasma cutter for a Hypertherm unit that's going to cut the same, that's going to be the same 50 amp. I think Hypertherm only sells a 45, and then it jumps up to like 65, 65 or 85, something like that. But anyways, in comparison, if I were to buy the Hypertherm 45 for the price that they want for that, I could buy 2 of these, Everlast Power Plasma 50s and have a backup if something goes wrong. Same thing with my MIG. There's other MIG companies out there, but for the 200 amp MIG, I could go out and buy me a couple of the Everlast units for the price that I would pay for one of theirs of the same quality, the same amperage and what it's going to do. So it kind of makes their argument a little bit of a dumb one, in my opinion, because they're like, oh, the shit's going to break down on you. Production, you got to keep production up. Yeah, you're right. But again, I could still buy 2 of the units and have one as a backup. If it breaks, and I can deal with that while I'm using my backup unit, So think logically when you're buying your equipment. Don't think that you have to go out and buy the top dollar stuff. It would be nice for us to have, but do what you need to do to get by. Craigslist is an awesome place for you to check out. And speaking of Craigslist, let me show you what I got here with that. Because I got more than just this drill press and those grinders I was talking to you about. I basically spent $250 with this guy. First and foremost, I got another angle grinder. If you've watched my videos, I've mentioned a few times that my angle grinder that I have, the 4.5 inch one made by Skill, is a piece of shit. Makita angle grinders are some of the best in the industry. To be honest, in my personal opinion, these things are what help make that company. When people talk about angle grinders, Makita's name comes up all the time. And I've owned them before, and it was very, very good piece of equipment. So this guy had one of these sitting in his shop, and he threw it in with the package deal that I'm getting. I was also able to get some clamps that are definitely not cheap, some fixture clamps. So I got this one. He just gave me that one. I don't even know what I'll use it for. I got to mess around with it and see what it can be used for. I got this, and I've been wanting one of these. It's a vibrator sander. Makita brand as well. The reason why I need this has nothing to do with metal. I also build furniture, and I've got some reclaimed lumber down here that as soon as I get some free time with, I'm going to build me. It's either going to be a picnic bench table or it will be a very rustic dining room table. But I needed a sander to do that with, so now I got me a sander, and that's awesome. And we got this, another clamp. This clamp is something that I don't know what I'm going to use for either. But it's a fixture clamp because he's got a bunch of this crap laying around in his machine shop, and I'll figure it out. It looks like it can be used for some tubing or something like that, and obviously of the highest quality. This is very, very smooth action right here. Yeah, I'm happy with that. And you know what? We forgot my other clamp, which wasn't that big of a deal. It probably got set down someplace in his shop. But it's another one of these type of clamps here, not this part, but this, that I just wanted. Something that could be used for other projects, and I've been looking for them. I also got the pipe clamps over here on the ground, and some metal. He had some of this rod laying around in there, and some of this stuff is very high quality metal. This one as well as that one is very high quality. This is just regular carbon steel, but these other two are low carbon steel. And I've got a bunch of what appears to be 1/8 inch rod inside of there. But I got all that stuff. The metal, the pipe clamps, Makita grinder, Makita vibrator sander, these two clamping fixtures, drill press, and the 2 angle grinders with a base that I could probably turn around and sell for scrap for, I don't know, $100, $150. So I got all of that for $250. I think I made out well. So anyway, I just wanted to show you guys that. I'll do an update video when I get the grinders here, but I got to get to work right now. Need to go across the street to the Ace Hardware and pick up a 1/2 inch drill bit so I could make all the rest of the clamps for that project. Get that buttoned up, and I'll be painting it here tonight and get that ready. The feet should be here tomorrow, and get it to the customer and get my check. So, all right, talk to you guys later. Subscribe, comment, like. Go down to the description box. Click on the link that goes to my Facebook page. Like my Facebook page. Show your support, please. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.